2 outs, bases empty. Beloit up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Faucher deals. Breaking ball, outer half, called strike 1. Mitchell 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday with that free pass, now in the midst of a modest 5-game on-base streak, and even 500 on-base percentage during those 5 contests. 1-1. Wave and a miss. Good changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Faucher, 23 years old. Werner, 25. So they're not the same age, but close enough. Faucher, a 19th round pick by the Marlins last year out of the University of Nevada. 1-2 pitch. Wave and a miss. Another changeup for strike 3. A perfect start for Peyton Faucher. A ground ball and 2 strikeouts to retire Quad Cities in order. We go to the second at Modern Woodman Park. Sky Carp 1, River Bandits nothing on the River Bandits Baseball Network. Modern Woodman Park has hosted baseball since 1931, but it's not just home to the River Bandits, it's the perfect location for your next event. From incredible views to a dedicated full-time staff, wow your guests. So many guys, when they go after Blake Mitchell, they really focus that outside half of the plate. Faucher does that, but instead of first pitch fastball, here's a breaking ball. Mitchell out in front, rolls over. You've taken care of one of the most potent bats in the league on just 1 pitch.
Still got a pretty good bat coming up next, though, in the form of Ramon Ramirez, already 1 for 1 with a single tonight. This is the first real jam he's facing. It's taken until the 6th inning for him to do that.
And he's a pitch away from getting out of it.
Yeah, all you need is a double play potentially here. Blake Mitchell, the 8th overall pick in the 2023 draft, waits. And on the next pitch, he swings and misses for a strike, 1-1. As we talked about before with Faucher, he didn't have a lot of longer outings last year as a pro coming off his college season. That's typical. Sometimes they just sit those guys outright. And if they do pitch a college starter later that year, they keep him to relief work. His longest outing coming into the night was just 4 innings, and it happened multiple times earlier this season. Here he's wide for ball 2 on Mitchell, 2-1. Right now in line for what would be his 2nd win of the season. Had a victory at South Bend back on April 17th. Runners at their leads at 1st and 2nd. Now here's the 2-1. Taken by Mitchell for ball 3. Mitchell, who's been among not just the league leaders, but the minor league leaders in walks, is close to drawing 1, and that could bring up a red-hot Ramon Ramirez as the potential game-tying run. Faucher has his signs from Connor Cascanet. Right-hander comes home, and Mitchell bounces one foul past the Beloit first base dugout. It'll be a full count now on the River Bandit DH.
You think back to yesterday's ball game, Beloit won it 10-1. Quad Cities went 0 for 7, hitting with runners in scoring position. It was these kinds of chances they were unable to convert on, and they've got 2 guys with great wheels on for their 3- and 4-hole hitters. Down by 4, feels like you got to get something from this.
Full count pitch. We'll get another as Mitchell fouls this one away. Mitchell earlier today with a strikeout in the 1st against Faucher and a ground out to second base within the 4th. Meanwhile, Ramirez, the man who's on deck, is already 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. Acosta away from 2nd. Sailors off at 1st. Faucher with another 3-2. Ball 4. Mitchell draws the walk, and Ramirez, the potential game-tying run, is up to the plate next.
And that's what Blake Mitchell will do for you, especially when you get to this stage of the game as a pitcher. You're getting a little fatigued. You don't want to groove run to a dangerous hitter. Mitchell is more than happy to take his base.
And Faucher sees the end of his night. For now, it's 5 1/3 shutout innings, but he leaves a jam.
Sorts here. It's something you see decently often.
You know, this is one of those mound visits coming after the first pitch of a new guy. Possible cross-up.
And the fact that they were still able to get a swinging strike out of it is pretty remarkable for Beloit, assuming that was indeed the case.
And to be able to handle that ball afterwards, knowing that if it gets by you, that potential go-ahead run could score.
A lot of factors in play here. Perez started the year in Single-A Jupiter. He was great, 2.65 ERA with 30 strikeouts in 17 innings. but he has given up 3 earned runs in his first 4 1/3 frames with Beloit. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball in, 1 ball, 1 strike. And once again, Cascanet going out to the hill to bring in Laura. Second baseman Starlin Caba wants to get involved with the conversation too.
And Perez has been bouncing around a little bit. Called up to Beloit May 6th and actually got reassigned to Jacksonville on the 16th, but didn't make any appearances with the, speaking of fun team names, Jumbo Shrimp before officially being reassigned to Beloit yesterday.
He's taking over for former River Bandit Jesus Rios, who left 3 ducks on the pond for B-Mitch. Now time is called by Dakota Reeves, or Dylan Reeves rather, and Perez did not dry his fingers off. Oh my goodness. Well,
the pitcher was busy talking with the base umpire when the catcher Cascanet was throwing the ball back, and it caught the pitcher just above the belt toward his left side. This has been a very interesting plate appearance for Blake Mitchell, and not so much because of Mitchell. And I think we just had it again.
Another one. No, he was ready for the ball this time, though.
So that, as I'm now seeing, the count is shown by Dylan Reeves is 2-1. So the first time you go wet hand to the ball is a warning. Second time, automatic ball. So it should be 2-1 now.
Nice job, Dylan Reeves. 2-1 count. Mitchell's, I think, going to get a chance to see a pitch here. Perez ready. He kicks and fires. Wave and a miss. Another off-speed pitch below the zone. It's 2-2.
And before we get away from it, I know I've had comments about Dylan Reeves' strike zone for what it may or may not be from how things are up here. But I think these 2 umpires, their first 2 games this series, very good, especially with times they've needed to be demonstrative with their calls and explanations of things.
And communicative. 2-2 pitch. Gets away from Cascanet. It rolls to the backstop. Late jump at third from Torres, but he's going to score, and the Bandits take a 5-4 lead on a wild pitch. Well, with how this plate appearance has been, seems only fitting that something wild allows Quad Cities to take its first lead of the ball game. Torres scampers home, up to second base. Goes Gonzalez, Acosta to third. And now a real opportunity for Mitchell to pull the Bandits away.
You're right on top of it. That was a very late start, and still he had the time to get home.
Infield now in for Beloit. 3-2 count on Mitchell. Here's the pitch. High and away, ball 4. Second walk in as many innings for Mitchell, and they've been reloaded for Ramon Ramirez.
And the run that's scored that gives the River Bandits the lead, that does get charged to Rios, so the former Bandit, who should get a blown save because of the lead that he couldn't protect for Fosher. Now that would actually put him in line for the loss in his first game in this ballpark as a member of a visiting team.
Ramirez, 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs. He had a bases clearing